All right, we're live. So this is the actual development meeting. I I ran a fake version of this about an hour ago, which was actually the design meeting. So we've done half of this, and so we're gonna do it again. That'll be fun. Um, so yeah, design tasks. Oh, and if at any time anyone wants to take a section or help me out in any way, I am a-okay with that. I am not Nate and Jen. I do not have my head in this stuff as well as they do. So cool. Design tasks. So backdropcms.org, the flagship website. We have some design items that are needed. Find layouts and listing. Find layouts listing page. So if somebody wants to find new package of layouts, we want to have a search interface for that, like we do themes and modules. And then also layout project pages related if they click through. Forum is another thing we've been talking about a lot. I don't know if we actually have all of the kind of requirements and features that we want outlined. If we do, that'd be good to link. Looks like we don't have a issue for this, or at least it's not linked in the document. And then design review. So we have a few things that have been designed and we need some review on. The blog and news section, there's a link to issue 110, and this is for the backdropcms.org repo. Event listing, service provider listing, and showcase section. So in order to get those things tied up, it'd be good to get some feedback and then get some development on them. So backdrop marketing and design needs. So we've been talking about having business cards for a while. I think the need there is more of a handout and maybe less, my name is such and such and this is my role at Backdrop, but more of a go check out our website, here's how you can get involved, kind of almost flyer. And then we also want to get a sticker for Apple laptops where the drop can interact with the Apple somehow. So if anyone has some fun ideas around that, we are looking to make that sticker. Also looking for background images for Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, there's a tag you can follow, or label you can follow on GitHub for all of our marketing issue needs. Backdrop the product. So 1.5 is scheduled for September 15th. We're looking at getting the new front-end theme in. So Basis, I can give an update on that. Waiting for Nate to give me a review on that. I think it's solid as is. It's in Contrib right now, backdrop Contrib/basis. But I would really like to get in responsive menus in core, or an implementation of those, and then also the color module, or a version of the color module. I'd like to get integration for that so people can actually theme, or change the appearance of the theme without having to write code. So I am working on those two issues, and we'll respond to any feedback if anyone has bugs or anything for Basis. Just make an issue in the Contrib repo and let me know. We're also working, so that's issue 1361 was the front-end theme. Default front page layout is issue 1042. So we want to get something cooler than a listing of nodes or add new content link if you don't have any nodes. So there are some ideas around that and what we could do. Yeah, looking to get that done. I might chime in on that if I get the time. And then responsive navigation, so that's one of the ones I'm working on, issue 1457. I'm actually blocked right now. I need backend help. The kind of configuration and some of the other stuff a little over my head, and I'd rather spend my time learning other things. So if someone could help me with that, I'm afraid I would do something wrong and make something insecure or something. So that would be great. But yeah, so I basically intend to use the same JavaScript that we used for the or similar JavaScript that we use for the responsive tabs. So I abstracted chunks of it out, kind of detecting is everything fitting on the screen, and hiding things. I abstracted all that out, and then the tabs and responsive menus will have an additional thinner JavaScript file that lays over top of that, adds any extra functionality, and then it can be easily themed because all the behavior is really just flipping classes and sometimes moving things around slightly. So the JavaScript is strictly behavior and not appearance. So yeah, hopefully that'll be cool. It's something that people will be able to build on with their own themes or whatever, and have the behavior already taken care of for them. So yeah, project browser design review. So I don't think that ever got a formal design, but it got, somebody whipped up a decent looking form and it's working. So looks like there's some feedback there on 1826. Go chime in or help out with a pull request. And then the layout UI design review. This is something that's been going for a while. So we're constantly trying to improve that. The layouts are kind of and dogs. And the postman. All right, cool. We're back. Yes, the layout UI kind of started as a minimum viable product, kind of adapted from panels, and so now we're trying to build features back up and make sure it looks slick and it's usable and it's not a nightmare to look at. Which it never was, but some other things that it might have been adapted from, maybe not as good. Okay, so there's another bunch of UX issues that you can look at. You can see all the issues. There's a label in GitHub for UX-related things. Or not a label, actually. It's just the tag and the title, I think. So you can search for that. Bracket, UX, bracket. So bigger picture stuff. Oh, wait, this is the design check-in. Oh, my God. One day, I'll learn how to run this meeting. It'll be fine. Okay, we're on the right one. So, free Calibox beta out now. You can start up your own dev environment. Sorry, Core. It's just going to be a cane that pulls me off stage. I'm done. All right, so you can also donate to Backdrop CMS and get a thank you Dragon t-shirt or hoodie, free PHP Storm licenses for Backdrop Contrib developers. Contact us at info@backdropcms.org if you're interested in a PHP Storm license. Notable, this is a really interesting article. I think the author is here, Mike. And so basically, ways that we might be able to improve our offer of affordability by making security updates something that could be automated and giving an example implementation. Seems like a really cool idea. I'm really excited about that possibility. That would definitely put us closer to being a strong competitor for Squarespace and have all the features of Drupal 7 or whatever. That'd be very cool. So definitely take a look and let's work on ways that we can start doing that stuff. Did you have anything you wanted to bring up, Mike?
Gosh, I don't know. I guess it's gotten pretty good reception, it seems like, on the Twitter and such. So that's cool. But yeah, I guess I sort of, I saw Jen and Nate do their thing a week or two ago now, and I'd had a hard time getting this idea, which I'm personally pretty passionate about, to stick in the Drupal community, and so I thought, hey, maybe I'd get some more reception here, and that's been going pretty well, it seems. But yeah, I guess I'm not really sure what others actually think about this, like, because there's, it would be more work, it would be a commitment on the part of any project, any CMS that wanted to do that sort of thing. And so, like, there's that part, like, do you guys really want to do that, and who would do the work? And there's also, it seems like, like, formal software life cycles, and defining those would be a whole can of worms policy-wise, right? So I don't know, where people would stand on that, or like, so the basic question, how long are you going to support a release for, right? Because that's like, at least the way I'm talking about it, that's like, in addition to automatic updates, you're talking about supporting releases for n years or whatever. So who decides what n is? And then there is the whole technical aspect of it too, and how you go about securely pushing all those out. So yeah, so it's obviously very, very preliminary. I have some ideas in those areas, but then again, I've just jumped into this Google Hangout 5 minutes ago, and I'm not really anyone to say anything. So yeah.
Don't let that stop you. Didn't stop me. So I would start by making a GitHub issue, and we can link to it in the meeting notes and go over kind of what we're thinking, and we'll.
Is that where you guys sort of do written discussion at this point, like versus like a Drupal.org issue? It's your like GitHub issues, okay?
Yep, and if someone can put a link out to the backdrop issue queue for the core project, that would be great. And I'm going to keep chugging along on the correct document. Updates from PMC. I don't have anything. Is there anyone else that has an update on the PMC? Probably not.
Can I ask a question about the security updates? Does anybody have experience with how they do that in WordPress? Like, I know they do it, but I don't have experience with it. The end user has to like push a button to accept the security update into their site. Is that correct? Does anybody know?
I do not.
We should put that in the issue, I guess, if you file one, Mike, to just examine how WordPress does it, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel.
I'm not a WordPress guru, although that's my personal experience on the one WordPress site that I have.
Okay.
You gotta push a button. Interestingly, one other thing that I'll shoot a link out to is Drupal just started looking at this, it looks like, recently as well, and they've asked the same question. There's an issue for it that's got tons of discussion, but no one has really answered that same question: is how does WordPress do it? Let me just send out the link to that.
Great. And there's lots of people that'll chime in who are on the call right now. So cool. I'll keep chugging along here, and then we can catch up on this at the end if there's still stuff. So community growth. Looks like Klonos isn't here. So I'm not sure if these numbers are up to date, but 285 total projects on Backdrop CMS, 198 projects that have official releases, and they'll show up on the backdropcms.org search. And project what's it? Project Finder? Project Browser, thank you. 293 releases on backdropcms.org, 54 total Backdrop contrib authors, 24 organization profiles on support/services, 286 total user accounts on backdropcms.org. That's great growth for especially how young we are. Infrastructure tasks. So, Gore.
Yes.
Second time's charm.
Yeah, second try. Okay, infrastructure. We turned on ZenCI to do a test for our test environment. So right now we're running tests on Travis and ZenCI, and main reason was that Travis, after it switched to new environment, started to be too slow for backdrop tests. And that's where we stand up with NCI, that's running tests pretty fast for now, right now for us. And on the infrastructure topic, I have a bunch of issues that I would like people to check it and give you feedback on it. So one of them is project release features. I have an idea to optimize the project release and also increase the security protection for our release. Right now, we do not do any MD5 or checksum for any kind of projects, and project installer does not really check for MD5 either. So there is an issue number 1992 1992. You can give your feedback about it and check it out. We need to do something with it. I would love to do something with it. Also, there is few more related issues, 1964 and 1987. This one related to project release infrastructure, especially for core release. Right now, when we're releasing core, we kind of do a commit with a release number and then do another commit after we trigger the tag. So there is some improvement from my side to propose it. So if you're interested in infrastructure tasks, check it out. I would love to see any feedback on this topic and move it live. Also, there is another issue number 1967. This one related to, it's basically right now pre-stage to do a backdrop contrib test. And if you have any ideas or just curious, check it as well. Also on this topic, I want to mention that right now we're experiencing problem with project releases. So if you trigger a new release, there is a big chance that it will not get to installer. We are working on it, and I believe this is in issue number. Where is number? No, I don't see number, but yes, we do have an issue somewhere in our TO. Also, on this topic, I have plans to improve our QA server. If you don't know, right now, every pull request to core repository trigger a new website where you can see your pull requests, added features, check it online via browser, give some feedback into pull requests if you're just doing some pull request review. Very handy, you don't need to start your own website to double check to see new features that have been proposed by pull requests. But we have few issues with the QA, especially when you close and open pull request. There is a possible issue with the QA website. I'm going to improve this structure, so it's going in the next few weeks. And what else? Oh yeah, recently NCI get updated. We have a few fancy features. If you PR alter, you can trigger to restart test by yourself with no need to close down pull request and open it again. You just go to the NCI sign in with the public access. You don't have to have a private. And because you are alter, you will see a button to restart your pull request test. It's handy because we still do experience random test failure. It's more rare right now compared to Travis CI, but we still do have them. And an issue related to this topic is 1478. We are tracking them down and trying to fix, but unfortunately it still happens, and sometimes your test needs to be restarted to make sure that it's not random fail, it's a real issue. So it's handy for pull request alters. And yes, if you have a push access to core repository, which is mean you're a core developer, you do have access to restart test as well. Just log in to the NCI and you will do so. What else left on our topic of infrastructure? Discovered. Yeah, Drush. I probably can pass it to our Drush developer. Can you pick it up?
Sure. Thanks, Gore.
No
Great work there. Testing infrastructure. Drush up has been merged. We tested that, and you can now update your backdrop websites using Drush up. So that's in there now, ready for you guys to use. So we can't deliver automatic updates, but we can do it with Drush. I've been working on Drush site install, which is a port mostly of Gore's work on Backdrop Console V project. So that's working for Drush as well. We need some beta testers there. I introduced an interactive mode as well, a la Drupal console. So if you don't provide a DB URL string Drupal 6 style, you'll be prompted for the information needed to install the Backdrop site. And then I would like to also port that interactive mode back to B as well. But lately I've been actually working on forward porting that to Drush proper. But it shouldn't be too much of a challenge to get it into B as well. Backdrop console, I think nothing new this week. Is that right, Gore?
Yeah, that's correct. Didn't have any time to add extra features, but we have plenty of them already.
Agreed. And that's Drush. So if anybody's up for testing, go give those PRs a look. That will help us out a great deal. All right, Flagship, back to you, Wes.
All right. Flagship website. So backdropcms.org. So coming soon, SSO with GitHub. Thank you, Gore. That'll be awesome. I'm excited about that. Jen's currently testing, maybe, according to this document.
Yeah, she's working on it. I hope it will be live soon.
As they're running around Europe. Showcase for sites built with Backdrop. Looks like we're working on that, so that'll be cool. And support section looks like a lot of work coming from Doc Wilmot, Biolithic Graham, and Klonos. It's awesome. And working on forums. Okay, so updates underway. Volunteers always needed. So looks like issues with the usage statistics. These are pretty sparse notes here. Find module themes and layouts. Looks like some issues there. Blog news announcements. Follow up. Event listing design. I mentioned that one. We're looking for people to review the design on that one. It's issue 188. So if anyone wants to go take a look. And this is in the backdropcms.org repo, which is in Backdrop Ops, I believe. Backdrop-ops. And also doing service provider listing follow-up. So a lot of great companies that listed themselves as Backdrop, willing or currently doing Backdrop projects. So we want to make sure that page looks nice and slick. All right. Backdrop CMS project report. So Backdrop 1.4.3 released on June 22nd. 1.4.4 will come out as needed. Looks like there's a GitHub tracker for that tag. There are some important bug fixes. This first one I know too much about. Safari, I don't like it at all. It makes my life hard as a front-end developer. So their Flexbox implementation is junk, and I don't like it. And so our new Flexbox layouts are breaking terribly. I had it fixed before, but we basically just did a feature test to make sure that the browser supported Flexbox. Some versions of Safari passed it, even though they shouldn't have, so I made it stricter. And now El Capitan or whatever has come out, and that version of Safari passes all Flexbox tests with flying, like it just says, oh yeah, we totally support all this, but then it's garbage and there's lots of bugs. So looking at the code, like if you look at how that lays out, there's like you'll have a column or a layout that's maybe 100 pixels wide, right? And if you have a column that's 75 and a column that's 25, which adds up to 100, right? The available space, which should work, it doesn't. It just clears a column and shoves it to the bottom. So we have two fixes for that right now. One was a temporary quick fix, and that was to reduce the all column widths, which means you're going to have extra space at the end potentially. Although it's Flexbox, so it may or may not. Actually, now that I think of it, but the other fix that we have, which I think will be the one we merge, but I'm not particularly pleased with it, and I wrote it, is actually doing user agent sniffing and just saying, if you're Safari, I'm going to force you to fail the Flexbox test because you're a liar. But user agent sniffing is the worst. I don't like it, but I also making the I can't figure out a way to make the test more strict because it's passing everything really well. So there's that. There's also another issue. Images frustratingly deleted. I remember hearing about that one, but I don't quite understand it. But 1373, another important bug. And if anyone wants to try out the Safari fixes or needs it on the current project, there's PRs, both PRs for the CSS fix and the JavaScript test fix, issued 1985. So items for 1.5.0, the editorial experience release, which I think was put in caps recently. So there's a reference module, issue 1301. I don't see Mike McCaffrey here. So it's in contrib right now, and posting the issue queue is better. I don't quite understand what that means.
Yeah, post to the contrib reference issue queue, and the core issue that we have right now will just be used for once it's ready to prepare the merging into core.
That makes sense. New front-end theme, I think I mentioned that already. But yeah, so waiting for update on from Nate, and yeah, the theme settings revamp, which spawned from wanting color module support. So we're kind of backing out a little bit and reevaluating if color module is the right way to do that long term. Yeah, needs review. So anyone who's using it, just put any issues in the contrib repo for basis, and I will get to it as soon as I can. And you can always ping me in Gitter. I'm always in there. So, yeah, see backdropcms.org/roadmap for other future plans, and you can always affect those yourself by making issues and participating in the community. Continuous improvements worth noting. There's user experience improvements. So you just look for any issue that starts with brackets and UX, and then developer experience issues DX. So if anyone finds anything that they don't like, that it's not working for them as a developer, as a user of the system, please just create an issue, tag it with bracket UX or bracket DX, and we'll try and take a look and see what we can do about that. Community outreach update. Mike is not here, so looks like we're going to have an outreach meeting on the 16th of July, which would be awesome. So going to work on web content strategy, which will be great. News and announcements. Official blog schedule. Anyone know anything about this? I do not.
I think it's basically if you have a blog you're interested in writing, post it in that issue, and then you can write it. The community will read it, proofread it, and we'll get it out there for the backup.
Cool. It's issue 158, by the way. So yeah, it looks like they're thinking about doing a Twin Cities recap, maybe. So yeah, that'd be cool. Newsletter schedule. So it looks like the next newsletter will be about updates to 1.4, and then maybe support section for the website on August 1st. All right. Sorry, I'm not up on all this stuff. Sprints. So this is Backdrop Day. Every Thursday is Backdrop Day. So we all try and hang out after these calls and hammer through issues and communicate it as much as we can. But if you can't work on Thursday for whatever reason, any day can be Backdrop Day for you. But less of us might be around. So can always communicate in the GitHub issue. It's kind of the main canonical source. Gitter is very popular. We generally use the Gitter for backdrop issues, and then there's IRC still, but it seems like a ghost town. But we're still posting the meetings in there and everything. And we also have a Reddit that we've been using for more long-term kind of discussion questions that may not be for the issue queue. And that's reddit/r/backdrop. Okay, so upcoming events. There's a calendar, it's an iCal feed that'll show backdrop-friendly events. So right now, all those are generally going to be Drupal events where we've got the okay to have proposed backdrop sessions and talk about that stuff. So you can check out ones near you. Actually, this month, end of this month, is DrupalCamp PA. I know it's backdrop friendly, but I forgot to mention it this year and get it on the iCal feed. But I don't know if there's going to be any backdrop sessions there. But I'll be there, and some other people will be there, and it'll be fun. So if you're in the neighborhood, stop by. Books. So Beginning Backdrop CMS is out. So that's on Apress or Amazon. There are links to both of those in the notes, and also have been out for a little while is Migrating from Drupal to Backdrop, which was kind of its predecessor, I think, the same author for both of them, and hear good things. So check those out if you're interested in reading up on some deep dive stuff. I guess maybe they're not deep dives, but I don't know. Detailed, well-researched, awesome stuff. So, anything else? Bring up any questions? We can continue talking about the security kind of model idea, security patching up model. All right, I think that's it then. Well, it's been fun, roller coaster ride here. So, thanks for joining and bearing with me, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.